Hey, how's it going, everyone? Saintsfan back again with another GTA Online Q&A. Today, we have some questions from some people in my Discord, and if you have your own question, you can join my Discord and ask it in one of the channels. But hopping right in from JS Mr. Race Car, are you excited to see San Andreas and Midnight Club LA coming to the new generation? So if you haven't heard, actually, those games, and I believe a couple of the other older Rockstar games are coming to at least Xbox One. They're becoming backwards compatible. So if you own the games, then you can replay them on the Xbox One. It's not going to be like the Red Dead Redemption situation where they remaster it a little bit, I don't think. But honestly, I'm not really excited for this sort of stuff because it still is just the same game. If they were to actually remaster them, make them look better, maybe fix some of the problems, then I would be a little bit more interested. But just to be able to play them on the newer consoles, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, you guys in the comment section can let me know. And I will say, if you have yet to play Midnight Club LA, that is probably the best racing game of all time. Like, at least in my opinion, it's the best racing game of all time. And if you haven't played it, I would highly recommend playing it because it's freaking awesome. But to me, it's just not that big of a deal when stuff comes to the new consoles. Next question from Sime Crafter. Should there be a new Formula 1 car that has their own races and decent customization? This is interesting because you would have thought Rockstar would have done something like this already, right? With the amount of different types of races they have and the amount of crazy supercars that we get, why haven't they given us some sort of crazy Formula 1 style car? I know they've technically given us some racing style of cars, but nothing like Formula 1 vehicles. They could have a new class. It could be the race car class, and it could be actual race cars, like Formula 1 cars. Maybe they do NASCARs, and maybe that's what the race mode with the Hot Ring Saber was all about. That was probably as close as we have gotten to some sort of actual race style of a DLC. Maybe they were gauging the interest of us as the community, you know, if we wanted something like that. Because if they did actual legit races with a ton of different race cars that they add, that would be kind of cool, and it would be different than all the other races. I mean, we keep getting these stunt races and these crazy style of races, but why not go back to something more simple? I mean, maybe it's just me. You guys in the comment section, as always, can let me know your thoughts on that, but adding a new race car class with some Formula 1 cars, maybe some NASCARs, maybe, I don't know what else there is, but anything else, and then having some lapped races, like legit lap races, that I think would be really cool. JM Race Car again, do you think the damn Jester Classic is going to come out tomorrow with the new races? I freaking hope so, although, and this is a big although, Rockstar could have seen the reaction to the Jester Classic and seeing how people aren't really as excited as they should be because the car's a mess. And I still haven't done a video on it. I was going to wait till it comes out. So if it does come out tomorrow, then you may be seeing a video going over all the issues with it because it has a ton. So maybe they saw that reaction and they're like, all right, let's not release it, take it down and release it with the next DLC. And it'll be more updated and it'll be fixed. I hope that's what they're doing because I really want to like the Jester Classic, but if it sucks and it's got all these problems, then it's going to be very disappointing. So maybe they do that, but that's probably not going to happen. So yeah, tomorrow we should get it. If we don't get it tomorrow, then we ain't never freaking getting it. If we do get it tomorrow, then I'll let you guys know what's wrong with it. Now, the main point of this Q&A, the main question from Zachy Boy, what's your take on the new Legit Leaks news? So this dude, I don't know if you guys remember him, Legit Leaks, he was the guy who was teasing in a bunch of riddles and puzzles a couple of months ago about some of the next DLCs. I believe one he talked about was a naval DLC. And the reason we even took this dude seriously was because he did get a few of the DLC predictions correct. FunMW2 actually said, you know, he's not going to say that this dude's fake, but he did know about the Doomsday Heist, but before or by the Smuggler's Run, when most of the community was talking about a Hipsters Part 2. However, he does say, even if he was an insider, plans change all the time, and what he's saying now might not be true. So do take this with a grain of salt, but this is what he said. There's going to be a massive DLC in August. Import and Export Part 2 is finished, but they put it on the back burner. And apparently it's going to include a 350Z. Fall is red, so I'm guessing he's talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. It's coming out in October. But your Russian friends return this Christmas with more underwater fun and offshore properties. And then this last sentence, I have no idea what he means, but news about 6T4G alter egos for Zoe, Doug, and Peter in March. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Zoe, Doug, and Peter, those names are from House of Cards. At least there's some major characters in House of Cards. I don't know if that's what he's talking about in some way, shape, or form. But the first part is the part that's interesting. What do I think about this? Again, take it with a grain of salt. This could be true. This could be not true. The big DLC in December, including the Russian friends that we made in the Doomsday Heist, that obviously sounds pretty plausible because I'm sure they could sell some submarines, some ocean properties, some crazy new boats. Hell, the yacht was $10 million. They could probably sell some more stuff and make a ton of money. I could see that being the big DLC this year, especially if maybe they added mansions somehow in it. The other part, the DLC he's saying is now, scheduled to come out in August. I don't know if I believe that because I just don't see Rockstar waiting until August to release the summer DLC. I mean, summer is starting for people, in school. So are they really going to wait through June, through July and not release anything for GTA Online when they could release a DLC and have a lot more people get excited and hype for it? That just doesn't make sense. I mean, obviously, unless they're still working on it and they don't have it finished, but sometime in July seems like the more likely release date for this upcoming DLC. Then he talks about Import and Export Part 2. It makes sense. Again, he's not saying anything that's too crazy. And Import and Export Part 2 makes sense because Import and Export Part 1 was one of the best DLCs that Rockstar have released, and Import and Export Part 2 would probably be the same. And it would give us a bunch of new cars to hopefully customize. So, what he's saying isn't too crazy, and it is believable. But that also doesn't mean it is true. I think we should give this guy the benefit of the doubt just because he did get some stuff correct in the past, some pretty major stuff. But then again, maybe this guy was an insider, maybe he's not anymore, and he's just looking for attention. What do you guys think about this tweet? Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? And would you be excited for some sort of water DLC in December? And then the final question of the day. Just get done watching the video. Do you think in the theme of the nightclub DLC there could be a bullet-resistant supercar? I love this idea. We all know GTA Online free mode is a mess right now. It's literally filled with people in a ton of weaponized vehicles. And if you were to drive around any of your regular cars, you're going to have a bad time because they blow up in one explosion. Someone can lock onto you, blow you up, and then you gotta go to the insurance, call up the mechanic again, and get your car. It's a hassle. And unless you're in an invite-only session, you can't really enjoy driving your supercar or sport cars around. However, if in this nightclub DLC they were to add a bullet-resistant or an explosive-resistant supercar to make it reasonable, that could be well received. Because then we could drive around our supercars and have a little bit more protection in online. I'm not asking for much, but maybe, 2 to 3 explosions this car would be able to tank. And then it would have bullet-resistant windows like some of the other vehicles so people couldn't easily kill you with their guns. You wouldn't be indestructible, but you would have a little bit more freedom to use your supercars, or to use a supercar if they decide to add it. How many of you guys would love this idea? I think this is a fantastic idea. If Rockstar don't do this, I'm going to be disappointed. But anyway, that is the question of the day, so let me know in the comment section below. But thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like. If you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.